Hi, I'm Steven here at Someday Farm, here with a Nèijiāquán challenge. Of course, this is for who's proceeded through the basics in their Nèijiāquán art. So we're expecting people to accept this challenge who are intermediate to advanced or beyond. Um, in other words, we're presuming that you know the basics, the principles, and uh, adopting a challenge not uh, offered to you by your teacher directly is not going to upset your study of new material. But some of us are looking for a challenge. Perhaps we're without a teacher, or we proceeded beyond the curricula um, to some extent. So here we are. Here's the challenge. So today I'm going to use some boxing terminology. Really, really simple. Just jab, cross, hook, maybe uppercut. The idea here isn't to teach you how to do it. In fact, I'm going to presume you know how to do it better than I. Uh, Also, when I say jab, cross, hook, uppercut, I don't necessarily mean Western boxing, and I don't even necessarily mean something that would be strictly considered a jab, a cross, a hook, or an uppercut in a particular art. But the basic striking that would match up well with those terms in a Western boxing. That way, the language lets me communicate with you, but you might hear jab and say, hey, that's the eye flick that we have in our tiger style. And you might see, the cross and say, well, that's my elbow strike from Muay Thai. And that's what you're going to do because that's your basics, your bread and butter. So I'll just use those boxing terms so that we can communicate. But I'm not here to teach Western boxing. Um, and and you might not even know it. So the idea here is to take a form that you know, and every opportunity that you have one foot in front, which will probably be most of the opportunities in your forms. You may not be in a horse stance an awful lot or a ready stance or something. What I want to do is throw that jab, right? So I guess I was just working on Xingyi a minute ago, so I'll do Xingyi. So here I am in my first set, and there's the jab. My second move is here in that particular form. So I might just do the jab again here. Technically, I have my left foot forward in this stance, so that's what I did. And then here, and then through, that almost looks like a jab anyway. That movement in the form here again, left foot is forward. There's the jab. Um, I'm not trying to teach this form or anything, so you substitute your own form as long as it's Nèijiāquán. One of the things to think about here is that uh, you could certainly do your Nèijiāquán form and between each movement, throw the jab, and then, of course, not get lost with where you are in that technique. Then throw the jab, not get lost with where you are, throw the jab, not get lost with where you are in the technique. So the idea is to throw that jab in between every other technique, where we have a foot forward, but not get lost in our form, not lose our place, not lose our flow. Now, we can do a Nèijiāquán version of these strikes. So I kind of keep homogeneously in that Nèijiāquán, let's say, headspace while I practice. And I can also step into it and step out of it. Like I'm in the shadow, I'm in the sunlight, I'm in the shadow, I'm in the sedline. In other words, I might very well just go to the basic boxing skills in a self-defense encounter and throw a few jabs and hooks, and then perhaps I see the opening and I do maybe a more elegant, more refined Nèijiāquán application. Or I'm working on my relatively elegant and refined Nèijiāquán application and it ain't working. This guy really needs a hook to the face followed by an uppercut to the sternum. And then I'm going to go back to my delicate and elegant and beautiful, refined, sophisticated Nèijiāquán application. So I can kind of have this mindset that I'm doing my practice and then doing my Nèijiāquán jab, not losing sight of where I am, doing my Nèijiāquán jab, not losing sight of where I am, doing my Nèijiāquán jab. And I can also be doing my Nèijiāquán practice and then have a real nice Western boxing jab following up that practice into the next sequence and a jab following that up with the next sequence and a jab. Maybe that jab uh, incorporates the guard that we might normally have or the foot pivot, depending on how fully you want to do it. That's fine. The other way I like to do it is so so I have my jab here, and then I have a jab cross followed by my next technique, followed by jab cross hook, followed by my neck technique, followed by my jab cross hook uppercut, followed by my next technique in the form. So I can, if I can do this, I can have my technique A in my form, do a jab, technique B, then do jab cross, then technique C, then do jab cross hook, then technique D, jab cross hook uppercut, and then go back to just jab. So if, again, as long as I don't lose my flow, I don't lose my place, I don't lose my consciousness and my consciousness as it's applied to the intention of these arts. So that's your challenge for the week. Put some real down and dirty basics into your Nèijiāquán practice. Have them fit in neatly into the practice without disturbing that beautiful, elegant, sophisticated practice, and bring a little bit of fire to your flow. So thank you very much. Steve Watson, Someday Farm. I'd be really grateful if you comment on this video and share it and like and subscribe and all that. Thank you.